Today we will see construction of transformer and its working principle. Okay. So first, construction of transformer. Okay. So on the basis of construction, the transformer can be divided into two types. One is core type and second one is shell type transformer. Okay, so there are two types of transformer on the basis of their construction. Okay, as I told you in the last class. Okay, so this is transformer core. Okay, so this is core of transformer. Okay, and here so windings are there. So windings are wounded like this. So these are windings. So this is LV winding and above that we wound HV winding. Like this. Okay. So inner winding is LV winding. These are low voltage windings. Okay, so what we do in the limb, we first wound this low voltage winding. Then outer windings are, these windings are called as HV windings. Okay, so in one limb, both LV and HV winding are wound together. Okay, similarly on the other side, this limb we wound okay. Like this. Okay. So again, this is LV winding in second limb, and outside it we wound this HV windings. Okay. So in this way we wound the windings. So this on both the limbs, it is left limb, it is right limb. So if this is core, so we wound first LV winding, okay. Then on above that we wound HV windings, okay. So in this case, this manner, we wound the windings on this core type transformer. This is core type transformer. Okay, and flux flow in this core plus phi flow in this core. This is your flux phi. Okay, and on the other hand, second one is shell type. So in shell type, there are three links. Okay, right, left, middle, or center lines. Okay, so in this you has got we got these two windows. This opening are known as windows, and in this case there is only one window. Okay, so what we do here, we wound the windings in this manner. Okay, so first we wound LV winding. Okay, so windings are wounded in central limb. Then, so these windings are sandwiched. So sometimes these windings are also known as sandwiched winding. Okay, so this is your HV winding. Then again LV windings. Okay, then HV, then LV, and then HV. Okay, so there are two types of transformer on basis of construction: shell type and core type. Okay, so these two windings are LV windings. Okay, so what we do, if it is the limb, so first we wound the LV winding, then HV winding, then LV winding, then HV winding, and then LV winding, so on. Okay, so this is the procedure to connect these windings. Okay, and these windings, violet color, are HV windings, high voltage windings. Okay, so this is core type transformer, and this is shell type transformer. Okay, so cell type are preferred for low voltage applications. For low voltage and low power. Low voltage and low power. Okay, so application of this type of transformer is for low voltage and low power. Okay, and application of this core type is used for high voltage and high power. Okay, so these are the applications of core type and shell type transformer. Okay, and here the flux is divided into two parts, two equal parts. Okay, so this is pi, this is pi by 2, and here it is pi by 2. Okay, and in case of the core type transformer, the flux flowing in the core is phi. Okay, so in central limb it will be phi. Okay, and it will be divided into two halves in the left limb and in the right limb. Okay. So this is LV, HV, LV, HV, LV, HV, and again this LV. Okay. So this type of arrangement of windings is known as sandwich windings or interleaved windings. Okay, so sometimes it is also known as sandwich windings. Okay, so the all windings are bound in the central limb or middle limb of the transformer. Okay, so this is the case, and they are separated through laminations. They are not connected electrically. They are magnetically coupled. Okay, so here there is central limb like this, and first we bound LV winding, then HV, then LV, then HV, then LV, and then HV, so on like this. Okay, and in case of core type transformer, there are two limbs. So this is right limb and this is left limb. So first we wound this limb. First the low voltage winding, then high voltage winding. Okay. Then for this we wound first low voltage winding and then high voltage winding. Okay. So these are the two transformer on the basis of construction. Okay. So first is core type transformer, which is generally used for high voltage and high power applications. Okay, so where there is high voltage and high power requirement is there, we generally go with core type transformer, and for low voltage and low power requirement, we generally prefer shell type transformer. Okay, so here inner windings are LV windings and outer windings are HV windings. Okay, and here sandwich of these two windings are there, LV, HV, LV, HV, LV, HV. Here whole flux phi travel in the core of the transformer, and in this case in the central limb phi is there, and then it is distributed half in both the limbs, right and left limbs. Okay, so this is the construction of the transformer. Okay. So now this core of transformer is made up of silicon steel. Okay, so this core is like this. Okay. So this core is made of thin lamination of silicon steel like this. Okay. So this is the part of transformer. Okay. So we are seeing this. So this is made up of thin laminations like this. Okay. We don't use so these are known as lamination. Okay, so we use thin sheet of silicon steel. Okay, so we use thin sheet of and they are stamped together. So this thin lamination of silicon steel are pressed together and form the core of the transformer. Okay, so there are n number of these thin sheets of transformer, and they are coupled to, they pressed against each other. Okay, so we don't use this silicon steel. It is made up of silicon steel. We use a thin sheet of this silicon steel, and they are coupled, they are pressed against each other to form a core. Okay, so this is a stack of silicon steel lamination, silicon steel laminations. Okay, and whose thickness can be about 0.3 mm. 0.3 mm. So thickness of this thin sheet is very less. It is up to 0.35 mm. 35 mm for 50 inches. Okay, so it is as thin as the thickness is like paper. Okay, thickness of paper or less than that. Okay, so why we do this lamination? Okay, so what are the advantages of this lamination? So this core is made up of silicon steel, and the whole core is made up of thin laminations. Okay, and whose, एक second. अच्छा, वॉल्यूम है हाँ अच्छा, ठीक है, मैं लोग फिर से इसको ट्राई करता हूँ, देखता हूँ, एक बार बताता हूँ। ठीक है, मैं देखता हूँ। हाँ हाँ ठीक। अच्छा ठीक है, मैं क्लास है उससे मैं देखता हूँ। पुरुषोत्तम, चलिए अब आगे देखते हैं। So why we need this whole transformer core? Okay, like this thin laminations. Okay, so so like this, these are the laminations. Okay, so these are the thin laminations. So core is made up of these small laminations. Okay, so this small single paper is lamination, and these are stacked like this and make core of the transformer. Okay, so we never go with a transformer with single core. It is made up of small laminations which are made up of these laminations. Okay, So if you see, this is the transformer, and you can see the thin laminations. Okay, can you see this? The thin laminations, it is not made up of a single core. You can see the small laminations, small lines. So this is the case. Okay, anybody? Yes. Okay, so these are the thin laminations. Okay, so every time we use these type of laminated core, okay, in order to reduce the losses. Okay, so why we use this laminated core? To reduce the losses. This is the case, and this is a shell type transformer. Okay, so this is the core made of silicon steel, and these are the windings, and whole windings are wound in the central link. Okay, and this is the your uh, this plus is insulator. It is insulating the core from the your winding from core. Okay, so here, so by using this laminated core, what we mean, like this. So our core is like this. Okay, so if we use a single core, silicon steel stool, so it reduces lamination of silicon steel. Sometimes it is in an Si steel. So it reduces eddy current loss. Okay, so why we use here lamination of silicon steel? To reduce eddy current loss. Okay, so what is the behavior of this eddy current? It is circular in nature. It circulates in circle. Okay, so this is eddy current. Eddy current always flow in this way. Okay, so what we if you use a single silicon steel, so eddy current will flow like this. It will easily flow in this core. Okay, and if we laminate this core into thin sheet like this, so we are using thin sheet of this silicon steel. So now what will happen? The path of this eddy current loss will be reduced. Okay, so there will be very uh, thin path is provided to this eddy current. Okay, so in this way you can reduce the eddy current, as the lamination thickness is 0.35 mm only. Okay, so these are very this is very small thickness. Okay, so the path for this eddy current will get reduced, and it will unable to circulate in this very thin thickness. Okay, so in this way we can reduce the loss in the core. So this is core loss. Okay, so there are two losses in transformer. Losses in transformer. So first is core loss, and second is copper loss. Okay, so this is core loss, or also known as iron loss. Okay, so your core is made up of iron, so this is known as core loss. So every transformer has got two important parts. One is core, which is made up of silicon steel or iron. It is a iron, and this is copper. Okay, so this is copper. So loss in this copper is generally known as copper loss or ohmic loss. Okay, so there are two type of losses in transformer. First is core loss or iron loss, and second one is copper loss or ohmic loss. Okay, and further, this core loss can be divided into two parts. First is this eddy current loss, and second one is hysteresis loss. Hysteresis loss. Okay. So there are two types of core loss. Eddy current loss. So how we can minimize this eddy current? So we are using thin laminations of silicon steel. Okay. So this thin laminations, by using this thin lamination, the path for this eddy current is reduced. So this eddy current will reduce. So the losses due to this eddy current is also get reduced. And how to reduce this hysteresis loss? So we are using this silicon steel. Okay, so what is hysteresis loss? So this is hysteresis loop. So this is BH curve, or it is a plot between V and I of any magnetic material. Okay, so the core we are using is silicon steel. So by using silicon steel, we can get minimum hysteresis loss. Okay. So this is hysteresis loss. So this is hysteresis loop. Okay, and area under this give hysteresis loss. Okay, so this is plot between BH curve. This is also known as BH curve. This is magnetic flux density and magnetic intensity, or B is equal proportional to V or phi. Okay, or phi, as B is equal to phi upon area, and H is equal to N into N. Okay, Ni upon N. So H is proportional to this I, and B is proportional to phi. Okay, so this is phi, and phi is proportional to V. Okay, so the area under this loop gives hysteresis loss. Okay, so the material which gives less, so like this. If a material hysteresis loop is like this, so area of this loop is very small. So we require a material which has least hysteresis loop. Okay, so we have to prefer that material. So area of this hysteresis loop will be very less as compared to this. So silicon steel offers minimum hysteresis loop. Okay, that's why we use this silicon steel lamination core. Okay, so why are using this type of core? Silicon steel has less hysteresis loss, and by lamination you can reduce eddy current loss. Okay, so this is the reason why we are using this silicon steel and laminated core. Okay, so there are two types of losses. One is core type core losses, and second one is copper loss. Okay, so in core loss there are two losses. One is hysteresis loss and second one is eddy current loss. Okay, so eddy current loss is circulating in nature. So we are laminating this core so that the path for eddy current get reduced, and the silicon steel has less hysteresis loss. So in this way we can reduce the core loss. Okay, so there are two types: eddy current loss and hysteresis loss. By lamination you can reduce eddy current loss, and by using silicon steel you can reduce this hysteresis loss. So on the whole we reduce this core loss. So core loss will be minimum. Okay, by using this type of core. Okay, so this is about the construction of transformer. Okay, so next we will see the operation of transformer, how this transformer works. So this is 4 of transformer. These are the windings. So here this is supplied by a single phase 50 Hz AC supply. Okay, so where we connect the supply, so this winding becomes primary windings. Okay, so where you connect this AC supply to this winding, so this become primary winding. Okay, or this primary winding. Okay, and let's suppose this winding has got n1 number of turns. So n1 is number of turns of primary. So this is primary winding. Okay, and here it is open circuited. We will connect a load here. So this is load side. Okay, so this is load. So now it is open circuited. It is not connected with load. So where load is connected, it is generally referred as secondary winding or secondary side. So this is secondary winding. Okay, and this is primary winding. And let's suppose it has got n2 number of turns. So n2 is number of turns of winding of secondary winding. Okay. So we are energizing the primary with a single phase 50 Hz AC supply. Transformer works on AC supply only. So let's suppose the voltage is V1. V1 is supply voltage. Okay, so V1 is supplied to this winding. Okay, so current will flow. So we are applied this voltage against this winding. So current I, it start flowing in this winding. Okay. So what happened? This is the core, and it has got n1 number of turns, and current I is flowing here. Okay. So let's suppose it is IE, excitation current, which is used for excitation of this transformer. So this is IE. Okay. So what happened? Whenever a current flows in n number of turns, it generate MMF. It will produce MMF. It is magnetic motive force. Okay. So you have studied it in other classes. So MMF, magnetic motive force, is equal to N into I. Okay. So you require n number of turns of winding and current I. Okay. So here there are n1 number of turns and current I is flowing. So here, so primary MMF, so this will be N1 and current is IE. Okay, so MMF is equal to N into I. You require n number of turns. This is, there is N1 and current I is IE. So here we are referring as exciting current. Okay, so this is used for exciting this transformer, primary of this transformer, and this will produce the flux, and flux phi into S. Okay, so this is the formula. MMF is equal to N into I is equal to phi into S, where phi is flux and S is reluctance offered to this flux. Okay, and so this will produce flux whenever current I flows in n number of turns. So it develops MMF. MMF is equal to N into E. This is n number of turns and this is current E. Okay, so sorry, IE, so N into IE, so it fulfills both the requirement N1 and IE, and this will give phi into S, flux phi into S, and the direction of the flux can be will be given by thumb rule. Okay, so if you take the current is flowing in this direction and flux phi will be produced in upward direction. Okay, so if the current is flowing in this direction, okay, so if it is bounded like this, okay, so current is flowing like this, so current will flow like this, okay, in downward direction. Okay, so we can find the direction of the flux. Here current is flowing in this direction, so using thumb rule, this is the direction of the current. Okay, so hold grip, and so the flux, the direction of magnetic field will be in upward direction. Okay, so current direction is like this, and direction of the flux produced will be phi. So this is the case. So current is flowing in this direction, so flux will produce in this direction, in upward direction. Okay, so what we have done, we have taken this n1 number of turns of primary winding and we are applying voltage V1. Okay, so when V1 voltage is applied to this winding, current IE, so IE is excitation current, which is used to excite this transformer, excitation current. And whenever there are n number of turns and current I is flowing there, so this will generate MMF. Okay, so MMF is equal to N into E. Okay, so and the number of turns is N1 and current is IE, and this will give rise to flux phi. Okay, and the direction of the flux will be given by thumb rule. So current is flowing in that circle, so flux will flow upward. Okay. Now this flux will flow in this core. Okay. So this is shell type transformer. So for the sake of simplification, we used core type transformer. Okay. So the flux will flow in this core. Okay. So in this core, it will flow. So and then it reaches the secondary winding. Okay, so this flux phi will cut this secondary windings. Okay, so whenever this is our AC flux, AC in nature. Okay, so this is alternating in nature and it is cutting n number of turns. Okay, so here we will use principle of electromagnetic induction. So whenever our flux cut n number of turns, so AC flux, this should be a alternating flux. Okay, so whenever alternating flux cuts the secondary winding or winding which has n number of turns, so it will induce our voltage here in the secondary side by using, so this works on the principle of electromagnetic induction given by Faraday's. Okay, so E is equal to n d phi by dt. Okay, so there will be a induced voltage. So it is fulfilling. We have got n to a number of turns and d phi by dt. So this is d phi by dt is alternating in nature. So we have got this d phi by dt. So this is E2. So this will be your induced voltage in secondary side. And if you connect this load, so then current I2 will flow through this load. Okay. So what we are doing. So we are giving supply to the primary side and this secondary side is electrically isolated. There is no physical connection between these two windings. Okay, but what we can what we are doing here, we are transforming the electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit using magnetic energy as a medium. Okay, so this is the principle of transformer or definition of transformer. We are transferring electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit using this magnetic energy. Okay, so first this electrical energy is converted to this magnetic energy, whole electrical energy is converted to magnetic energy, and this magnetic energy is converted to useful electrical energy. Okay, and keeping frequency constant. Frequency is constant. Okay, during whole process, frequency if you use 50 hertz, so output voltage you will get is also of 50 hertz. Okay, so we will see it in next class. Okay, so we will derive the equation of A2 induced voltage. So then you will see the frequency is kept constant. Okay, so this is the principal working of the transformer. Okay, so these two windings are electrically isolated. There is no connection between these two windings, but still we are able to transfer this electrical energy from one circuit to another circuit using this flux. Flux is magnetic energy. So electrical energy converted to magnetic energy, and this magnetic energy is converted back to electrical energy. Okay, and this will be E2 is equal to minus N2 d phi by dt. This is by Lenz's law. Okay. So this voltage will oppose its very cause, and its very cause is phi. Okay. So induced voltage always opposes its very cause. जिसके कारण आया है वो उसी को oppose करता है. ठीक है. So this is d phi by dt. So if you use this DC voltage here, okay. So the questions ask what will happen if you give DC voltage here. Okay, so there will be no induced voltage in the secondary side. Why? Because the flux in DC is constant, and if you differentiate it with respect to time, this will become zero. So induced voltage in secondary side will be zero. Okay, so that's why if you supply DC voltage, there will be no voltage induced in the secondary side. Okay. So this is why it works on AC supply. So I will recall all the process. Okay, so we will first AC voltage is supplied to the primary side. So this is voltage plus minus V1, and this is N1 turns. So current I will flow through this winding. So this is IE into N1. IE into N1, so this gives rise to MMN, and this will produce a flux. Okay, so flux will flow in this core, and this flux will flow through this core, and it will cut the secondary windings, which has got N2 number of flux. So according to Faraday's law, electromagnetic induction law, if there is alternating current and it is cutting the N number of turns, voltage will induced. Okay, so voltage E2. Why E2? It is secondary side. Okay, and here also there is phi. So here also voltage E1 will be induced in primary side. Okay, so this is E1 will be minus N1 d phi by dt. So there will be two induced voltage in primary side and secondary side. So this is minus N1 d phi by dt. Okay, so this small e represent induced voltage, and this capital B represent the supply voltage. Okay, so E1 is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Okay, so it has got N1 number of turns, and flux is alternating in nature. Okay, and in secondary side it will be minus N2 d phi by dt. Why we are using this minus sign? Because this induced voltage oppose its very cause. This is given by Lenz's law. Okay, so this will be minus N d phi by dt. Okay, so there are two induced voltages, E1 and E2. Okay, and so our voltage will be induced in the secondary side, and if you connect a load to the secondary side, a current I2 will flow through this winding. Okay, so we are giving voltage in primary side and getting a voltage in the secondary side. Although these two windings are electrically isolated, but they are magnetically coupled. Okay, so this is the working principle of transformer. Okay, so in the next class we will see more about this working principle, and we will derive equation of this induced voltage. Okay, so any doubt in today's class you can write in the chat box. Okay, so ये मेथड ठीक है YouTube में कि आप अभी भी उसमें जाएंगे गूगल क्लास में, ठीक है, गूगल मीट में. इसमें क्या है, ये आपको मतलब अगर आगे भी देखना है तो आप ये लिंक को यूज करके आप YouTube देख सकते हो, ठीक है. सो एनी डाउट इन टुडेस लेक्चर? Okay. So I will continue with this YouTube link. Okay. Okay. So I am ending this live stream. Okay. So we will proceed in further class. Okay. Thank you, class.